and they're awaiting trial on those charges. These are all new charges. These are all new investigation on 35 women. They've been placed under house arrest again because the cut said, "Oh, jail."
Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And what he do? And it's gonna react to all the self-snitching.
Hi, this is Bruce Rivers. Welcome back to another fun-filled episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers, your very own personal board-certified criminal defense lawyer. So I'm back. I'm back in action. I was on a little holiday. Went to Ireland for 10 days, went to the Bahamas for a few days, and now back in action. Start trial next week, and we're here joined by our content genius, Michael Rivers, the man behind the plan, the man behind the microphone, and in front of the microphone, and the man behind and in front of both cameras. How does that happen? I don't know how it happens. He's a magician, really. Michael, say hello to the people.
Hello, fans. Hello, everybody watching around the world from Minneapolis, Minnesota, where we are based.
Let's just give a shout out to our fans because our fans are flipping phenomenal. When I was in the Bahamas, I was just in the Bahamas. I go up to a bar, just to have a glass of wine. And the guy goes, "Oh my God, I'm such a fan of your channel." And they comped us our drinks. And all of a sudden, a couple other people, and some people commented on Fulio, the video that we did, and said, that our messaging was spot on, and that, and it's really not hard to say that we should end violence against, each other, let alone in the black community, let alone in the gang community. But regardless, we had a great time in the Bahamas. Our fans are phenomenal, knew who we were. Happens everywhere we go, no matter where we go around the world. So our fans are the best.
Can I just add one thing really quick?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we've been working our asses off trying to get everything set up. So the podcast will be coming soon. And obviously that message stuck with everyone. And we really want to promote that message of ending violence. Ending violence. Also, go to clrbrucerivers.com. And that's all I'm going to say. We put in a lot of work. But back to you.
Okay, so today we're going to react to Andrew Tate. Who's the what? What is he? He's the gift that keeps on giving. Just before we get to our main episode, this is brought to you by eforms.com. eforms.com. If you need a form for your grandma who lives in her basement because she's getting a little reckless or a little forgetful, and you need to have some kind of power of attorney or bill of sale, rental agreement, you don't want your grandma living in your basement for free, do you? Mine doesn't. Man, you got to charge her some money because you got to get that Social Security money. No, I'm kidding. But actually, eforms.com is a very loyal sponsor to our program, and I want you to go ahead and visit them if you need something. If you buy a car from somebody, you need a bill of sale. If you sell a car to somebody, you need a bill of sale. Go to eforms.com. If you need a durable power of attorney, if you need a medical power of attorney, any kind of legal form you need, go to eforms.com so you can avoid the high cost of a lawyer like me. So Andrew Tate, let's talk about Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan. These two choir boys. You got to love these guys. They're the sexiest men alive. Aren't they? No, they're not. According to the BBC, they've been placed under house arrest again because the cut said, "Oh, jail." They went to Romanian judges put the prosecutor put them back in house arrest. They're not in jail. They're back in house arrest because there are new allegations, including sex with a minor and trafficking underage persons. So Tristan and his brother appeared in court last Thursday afternoon, a week ago, and they were placed under. And Tristan was placed under special judicial control. But the prosecutors asked the judge to remand the brothers into custody for 30 days while they continue their investigation involving a total of 35 alleged victims, including a woman who was 15 at the time. Now, how long has this been going on? I mean, they've been out on house arrest they've been released from custody for over a year. So, I mean, it's been about a year and a half, almost 2 years since this whole thing started. And they just raided their place again. I have a problem with this personally. If you put up or fucking shut up. Try the case or don't try the case. But this lagging on.
I was just gonna say, no, what you just said was like 2 or 3 years or whatever. I mean, if you look at the 300-page indictment, you can see it actually spans back to the teens. So it's much longer than 2-3 years. It's
No, I understand that, but what I'm saying, since the initiation of judicial proceedings, I mean, you're entitled to a jury trial within a very short period of time under the Speedy Trial Act
here
in the United States, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why I have a problem with just this lagging preventative detention. So, in a statement, this is according to the BBC, Romanian agencies against organized crime, that DICOT, said six more people have been detained in total, and both Romanian and foreigners. Now, Andrew Tate is not going to take this lying down. No. This is a setup. It's absolutely disgusting. 30 of those girls say we've done nothing wrong. Well, I guess 5 of them say you have. And 2 are mothers of our children who would never, I mean, you can't abuse mothers of your children, can you? And 2 have never been here to Romania. Well, you don't need to have them be in Romania if you're in Romania controlling them from outside. But he says it's a setup. Let's kind of look at, this is
Milk Bar TV.
Milk Bar TV.
So shout out to Milk Bar TV. He's most popular. He has a YouTube and Twitter, but he makes these videos of all the stuff that Andrew Tate tried to get off the internet. So Andrew Tate originally, he had Hustlers University and the other one, which was the War Room, which was 5,000 that went up to 8,000, right?
Yeah.
And so he would teach these guys how to do what he did with these girls. And Milk Bar TV would put out these videos of him. And if you go back and watch our other video, I'll have it linked in the description of this video right here. We reacted to his videos. He does really good work, and he has access to a lot of the stuff that Andrew Tate tried to wipe from the internet.
So let's just take, so Andrew Tate says this is a setup, okay? Let's listen to his own words.
The girl you start with is the most important girl. My first girl.
The girl you start with is the most important girl. Okay, this is the girl he's talking about. I think, what's her name?
Vivian.
Okay.
My first girl was so good, it was easy. So, Vivian here.
If you're new in this channel, I'm a cam model, and webcamming is what I do.
That's how it started. I met Vivian in Slovakia.
I'm from Slovakia.
We had a long-term relationship thing. I was living in England. I moved her to England to be with me, to start doing my webcam company. She's completely head over heels in love with me. She wants kids with me, everything. And we met and we felt whatever, we're in love.
I have lived with Andrew for years and years.
So Vivian's been with me
He's been with Vivian for 6 years, right?
Vivian's like 21.
Vivian's 21. And at this point, he's been a girlfriend for 6 years.
Vivian's younger.
I mean, so what does that make it out to be? That she's 15. And so he says it's all a setup by his own words. He's done the math himself. So this is not a setup. So the BBC asked Andrew Tate repeatedly about the allegations of sex with a 15-year-old that he's just admitted to and trafficking underage person. But guess what? He didn't address that. He just walked away and he didn't say anything, refused to reply. Why? He shouldn't have been saying anything to the cameras because this is the Matrix. This is blah, 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 blah. It's all bullshit, right? The Tate brothers have previously been charged with human trafficking, and Tate is charged with rape, and they're awaiting trial on those charges. These are all new charges. These are all new investigation on 35 women. So they were released from house arrest a year ago and told not to leave Romania. But now they're back under house arrest, at least for 30 days.
I just want to say, so there's been this Twitter war basically regarding this, right? You have the Tate stands, which are somehow there's a myriad of them. There's plenty of them, and then you have Murder by Crayons, who is it's an account that posts a lot of stuff, and then Milk Bar TV, and so there's this account called Tate News, right? And Tate News is very pro Tate. It's like free the Tate brothers. And they posted literally this Twitter post. I can send it to you. But it literally just outlines what we're explaining, the charges. And people in the replies are like, I thought this was a pro Tate account. I thought this was a pro Tate account. It's like free the Tate brothers.
According to the BBC, they've always strongly denied any wrongdoing and deny the formal charges, blah, 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 because we know that, right? But these are new and separate allegations apart from what they have been charged with already. So they've already got a trial scheduled for this other stuff. The Anti-Organized Crime Agency, which is the DICOT, said they were grooming vulnerable people who were then housed in different locations and forced to produce pornographic material for online broadcasts. One of the foreign men is accused of forcing a 17-year-old foreign citizen to perform sexual acts in order to make online videos and content. And he is said to kept all $1.5 million in profit. Now, here's the thing. Is it illegal to have somebody online and to profit from it? No, that's not illegal. Sex trafficking, if you remember what we said, Michael, is force, fraud, or coercion. And so when you deny somebody access to their passport, for example, so they can't travel, that's force or coercion. You know, you put them in a situation where they don't have power to leave. The same man is accused of repeatedly having sexual relations with a girl who was 15 years old when they met. Who does that sound like? After questioning for several hours at the DICOT office, Andrew Tate told the BBC on Wednesday night that the latest allegations were pathetic and the prosecutors were desperate. And he said that they had made up a lot. One thing that they didn't make up is that he started banging Vivian when she was 15 years old. He was also accused of the loverboying method of, technique used by criminals to prey on victims' vulnerabilities and then exploit them. Basically, I'm going to be your white knight. I'm going to be your savior. And that's what the pimps did back in the day at the bus stations. So the notorious, I love how the BBC puts this. The notorious misogynist with a giant online following, Andrew Tate, has referred to the Twitter or X to the case against him as some kind of mainstream conspiracy to silence him. In the news statement, now check this out. Prosecutors accused the brothers of buying 4 luxury cars and registering them in the names of other people in order to hide the proceeds of what they described as their illicit activity. In total, it is alleged that the accused made some $2.8 million through sexual exploitation. Now, that's a far cry from the hundreds of millions of dollars that he said he has made. And maybe he has made hundreds of millions of dollars, or maybe not.
So, if you go through the indictment, which we posted, and you can see that video, there is a link. We actually released the indictment, and it's on a Document Cloud website. But you can see all of the financial advances. The most profitable thing Andrew Tate ever did was the casinos, and he talked about that. He talked about how he was making $500,000 a month off of the casinos, and then COVID hit, and then that went down. But that was all pretty much illegitimate as well, due to the fact that it was linked to organized crime in Romania. So if you really go through, it's 300 pages, guys. I know it's a lot. You look towards the end, the back half, the latter half of it, the very, very latter half of it, I'm speaking about the last 20 pages, is where you'll find the financial information, the specific financial information. But the webcam stuff, he's not a hundred millionaire. I don't know where he's getting his money to keep up running the stuff. Rumble probably gave him a deal for the podcast, but go ahead.
So when he's experiencing the drip effect, basically. I'm not a fan of this type of preventative detention and all the other stuff they're doing in terms of delay. I mean, it shouldn't be years before you get your trial. I mean, they should either put up or shut up fairly soon. But in all honesty, when you have 35 potential victims, one is, you can beat one, maybe you can beat 2, maybe you can beat a couple. But when you have 35 of them, I mean, you're getting into like a critical mass where it's just almost impossible. So you've got, you think, does the statute of limitations apply? Well, I don't know Romanian law. Clearly, if there was a motion to dismiss for, because the statute of limitations had been blown, his team would have done that, I would suspect. But when you have an ongoing conspiracy, there's no statute of limitations. When you have certain sex crimes, the statute of limitations doesn't start running until it's reported to cops, basically. So once it's reported, and they do that because people oftentimes are very reluctant to come forward. I had a case that was 30 years old, and the woman finally came forward and reported it to the police. And, my client wound up taking a deal because he just didn't have an answer to the allegations. So when you look at Andrew Tate, he's got the underlying case of sex trafficking, money laundering, and, some other, RICO kind of charges.
That minor one might be Tristan, though. Because if you remember, we looked... there's a lot of stuff on Tristan. And Tristan admits... You remember that tweet he wrote? 30 is the year you can finally fuck a girl half your age. That's what he wrote on Twitter.
That very well could be. That very well could be. And that's another... What do we call that, Michael?
Self-snitching.
Yeah. So they're online, and I guarantee you that if they do have a trial, every last word that they've uttered online is going to go right through the courthouse.
Clue what to say. They were saying all the wrong shit, man. Every day they were saying the wrong shit, and we were losing customers. Everything I was telling you earlier about wanting to be innocent. They're saying, I've been here, I've been there. I'm like, shut the fuck up. You're talking to some dude. He doesn't want to hear where you've been. He knows you can't be a 10 talking about how you've been to Dubai to some fucking dude in Minnesota who's fat. He ain't gonna ever believe that he's gonna get you that way. You gotta lie to him. You gotta lie to him.
To some dude in Minnesota?
Say that you've never been anywhere because you don't trust men. You can't find a man who's serious. Make him think that if he's serious about you, that nothing else matters. You gotta put a famoose on it.
It's all... See, you hear that? That's all fraud. It's how to defraud somebody. Force, fraud, or coercion. So you want the illusion that the guy can get you, right? You want to keep him on the line as long as possible.
I'll put that full clip in the video, but in context there, he was talking about how he would type for these girls, which is not the straightest thing in the world. Let me just say that. No problem with that. But it's for him to be this ultra masculine guy. He's typing while these girls are pretending to type because he knows how to get money out of them.
Right.
But he's getting them off. It's just,
It is a little strange.
But he brags about getting like hundreds of thousands of dollars out of these lonely guys. And everything is victims. It's vulnerable people. That's how he makes his money.
The whole organization is a corrupt organization designed to defraud people from Hustler University, people who are online, whatever the hell they do. And I don't mean to cast aspersions, but people who are desperate, people who will part with their money because they want some fucking lie that some broad online is going to say that she loves them.
I got a death threat myself from one of Tate's fans, and after a while, he, sent me my address, said he was going to kill me, whatever. And then after I got to, I responded back in a kind way, and then I found out it was a kid living with his mom who probably just needed some therapy and, like, some friendship. You know what I mean?
Well, it doesn't excuse a death threat.
It doesn't excuse a death threat, but that's what I'm saying. It's like...
What's people living in their basement, with their fucking Cheeto-stained underwear. So we'll see you next time here on Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers, accompanied by our content genius.
One last thing. Shout out to Milk Bar TV. Shout out to Murder by Crayons on Twitter. You guys are doing awesome work. Keep it up. Keep giving us information. We'll get it out to the people.
Make sure you subscribe, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, and sign up for Patreon. And we'll see you next time here on Criminal Lawyer Reacts.
Bruce Rivers just broke down your case. He know all the charges that you about to face.
You ain't coming home till 2058. That self-snitching gon' get you put away. Bruce Rivers just broke down your case. He know all the charges that you about to face. You ain't coming home till 2058. That self-snitching gon' get you put away.
23-hour lockdown, police is at my god.